Hi there, I've got this video to let you know about 3 ways that you can 10x your practice between now and your next lesson. So the first one is going to seem really obvious, but I don't seem to find that it is obvious. Pick up your guitar every day or almost every day. For people who love to do this, it is obvious, but I know it's a really common thing in the world that if you've had a really crappy day at work, you come home, you're in a bad mood, you don't feel like doing something that's going to make you feel better. But one of the things I try is, number one, to give myself a time every day when I'm going to sit down with the guitar, and then don't let anything get in the way of it. Tell your family or your housemates that you're unavailable, and make a plan for what's going to happen if they do disturb you, because chances are they will. The other thing that I do when I want not to practice, there's always the part that maybe doesn't want to practice if I'm not in a good mood. A lot of times I'll just tell myself that I pick it up for 10 minutes, and if I'm still not having a good time, then I just put it away. So, and I can tell you that's almost never happened. It's so rare that I pick up the guitar and I regret it. And it's so rare that I pick up the guitar and I start playing and I go, this isn't really fun. The very odd time that happens, I let myself put it away because it's just really not the time. But most of the time, it's uplifting if I pick it up. Also, if you've had a hard day, don't pick up and work on things that are going to frustrate you. Just work on something that's going to make you happy. Why not, right? Why not choose happiness? So then the other one, again, is going to maybe seem obvious. This would be one of the ones that you wouldn't do if you had a bad day. Play with the metronome. I find that I can tell hands down without even asking the students who play with the metronome and the ones who don't. The metronome, I like to say that it's a bit like a hammer. If you don't use a hammer very often, you're probably not very good at it. You're probably like me and you grab it from the middle and try to do stuff like that with it. Hammers don't work very well that way. Metronomes are not tools for people who don't use them. You have to use it on a regular basis before it becomes really useful to you. So one of the things that I tell people about using the metronome is, if it's something that you haven't been very friendly with so far, then pick it up for a little bit on something that you're already kind of good at, and that's easy, right? You want to make it so that it's easy. You don't want to try to do stuff that's really hard with it. And just do it for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes at the most, and then see how that goes for a little while. If it really is hard, which it might be, then over time it'll probably get a bit easier. And I find for myself, I actually really quite enjoy playing with the metronome now. So that's one of the things I'd recommend. The third one, this is a good one. Record yourself either on audio or video. If you really hate it, you can always delete it. But the thing I notice is that, and especially for little short things, if it's something really long, I find I lose focus when I'm listening back to it. But if it's just like one falsetta or just one little short thing, maybe 30 seconds or a minute long, then I hear what I actually sound like instead of what I sound like in my head and in my imagination, because there sometimes can be a difference between what I think I'm playing and what I'm actually playing. I want to just tell you a quick story. I had a student a number of years ago who didn't have the funds to take a lesson every week, but he was a beginner, and normally I don't do every second week lessons with beginners, but he promised me that he would work really hard, and I believed him, which I'm glad I did, because he really taught me something. On the weeks when he didn't have a lesson, he always recorded himself, and he came into his lesson and he progressed just as fast as the people who are having lessons every week. So it's a really, really good way to go. One of the things I tell my students is that if you can't hear what you sound like, it doesn't matter how much I know what you sound like and how much I tell you what you need to work on. Usually, as soon as somebody hears that this is what it sounds like, then they get it, and then they do the work that they need to do in order to make it better. So those are my 3 suggestions. If you liked those, I would like to suggest that you go over to hollyblazina.com and add your name to my guitarist's mailing list. Because if you do that, I've got actually 10 suggestions for how you can 10x your practice between lessons. and I will share that with you along with all kinds of other material that I share with my faithful subscribers. There's all kinds of free content that I offer in that format, and in a couple of different formats that I don't offer just out to the public. So hollyblazina.com. It's in the link below this video as well if you want to go over there and add your name. I'd love to stay connected with you that way.